Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shantae Arati. I am coming on today to talk about the new chief of the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration. This is important information that all of you all who are entrepreneurs and small business owners need to know because the SBA serves as an integral part in helping us as small business owners get relief for our businesses, financial relief for our businesses, ourselves, and our families. They are responsible for administering a number of the programs under the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill that was passed, right? It's the Economic Rescue Plan Act of 2021, as well as the previous acts, all the way back to the CARES Act that was passed in March of 2020. So we know we have a new president-elect Biden, and he has been installing members of his cabinet. And so I really thought it was important to talk today about Isabella Guzman. Okay, I know there's an Isabel out there, another one. This is not her. Isabella Guzman is the new chief of the SBA, and she is getting a relief for small business owners a priority. So I, again, want to make sure that you all have access to not only know who she is, what their plan is for small business owners, what you can expect for relief that continues to be rolled out. So that's what I'm talking about today. And I will answer questions too about the various stimulus programs. I'm constantly getting questions. So please do drop your questions in here and I will try to answer them during this live broadcast. If you're just tuning in again, say hello. Let me know. Drop a hi. Let me know where you're hailing from, what your business is. Do give this a thumbs up or hit the love button, depending on where you're viewing in from. Do share out this broadcast. Sharing is caring. We know that there are still millions of small business owners that are struggling out there trying to get relief, don't know about these programs, don't know that they qualify, or having challenges with accessing the information, the tools and resources they need to get some of the money that is out there. And why is this important? Because there are billions and billions and billions of dollars in relief out there in the form of stimulus, in the form of grants that are coming from the federal government, all the way down to the states, to the counties, and your cities. So that is why it is important. So Isabella Guzman was sworn into office on March 17th. Again, she is administering the programs under the SBA. She just made a big move, right, to increase the EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, loan amounts that was initially capped at $150,000, which we know was devastating for a lot of businesses that were expecting up to $2 million. So she has increased that cap to $500,000. So those of you who have already applied, you don't have to apply. You don't have to do anything but wait for them to send you an email to let you know how you can get an increase. Again, they're increasing it up to $500,000. And then from 6 months of working capital to 24 months of working capital. So I know that is huge for a lot of you all that already been funded. Those of you that are still in the pipeline that have applications that are being processed. And those of you that intend to apply for the EIDL loan program, which has been extended through December 31st of 2020. So it is a great program, great loan terms. So it is a great, a great resource for small business owners who need to get access to funding. The SBA is really known for the loans that they provide. They provide a lot of different types of loans for a number of different needs. The Section 7(8) loans, the micro loans, you may have that as well. So they have a disaster debt relief program. They also have a forgiveness program on those micro loans. So if you have an SBA loan, do make sure that you follow up and make sure you get access to those benefits. What I want to do before I get into just going through some of the programs that they are administering, we know about the big ones like EIDL and the Target EIDL grant, and we know about the Paycheck Protection Program, which, by the way, has been extended. are we happy about this or not? I know I'm very excited about it, so I'll talk about that shortly. But I wanted you to listen in. It's about 6 minutes of when Ms. Guzman was going through her confirmation hearing. I want you to hear what she had to say, because it's important for us to hold our leaders, right, accountable when they are serving in office. You need to know who these people are, what their role is, and the decisions that they're making, the actions that they're taking that is impacting your business. So I'm going to share my screen. And shout out to all of you that are out there. I see you guys out there. I'm getting ready to share so we can listen in, and then I want you to see it as well. Again, for those of you that are just tuning in, we're talking about the new chief of the Small Business Administration. Her name is Isabella Guzman. I just want to make sure that it's on the screen so you all can see it. There she is. Okay, so 6 minutes, and then we're going to get to talking about relief. As we're watching, if you have questions, again, let me know about any specific program that is administered by the SBA, and we'll discuss after. And then also, once I start this, let me know, check, that you can hear everything that I'm saying and what she's saying. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairman Cardin and Senator Rubio, and I'd like to thank the committee staff. I'm working so hard to schedule this committee hearing quickly, and Mrs. Guzman, it's a delight to be with you today. I really enjoyed our call, and I'm looking forward to supporting your nomination and to working closely with you as you lead the Small Business Administration going forward. The crisis that our nation's enduring at the moment, this pandemic and the recession associated with it, is hitting restaurants particularly hard, as you well know. And last summer, Senators Sinema and Wicker, Graham, and I introduced the Restaurants Act to provide direct grants, not just loans, to hard-hit independent restaurants. I heard just yesterday from Sasha Aber, a friend who runs Homegrown Cafe in Newark, Delaware. She's a regular at the annual Taste of Delaware that we do in the Kennedy Caucus Room. I hope you'll join us next year. And Sasha was telling me this weekend just how hard-hit her business has been, and how she and her employees and many other restaurants in my state need more help. I'm really encouraged by President Biden's focus on helping restaurants in the American Rescue Plan, and I'd be interested in how you think we can best deliver that, why you think grants are more important than loans, and how significant you think it is to target assistance to sectors like restaurants that have had particularly a difficult time of it.
Thank you, Senator. I had the pleasure of serving on the Governor's Task Force on Business and Jobs Recovery during the COVID response, and with the California Restaurant Association chairman on small business issues specifically. So I've heard from him many stories about how this is affecting California restaurants as an example, and that's a microcosm of what's happening across the country. A lot of these businesses are straddled with debt, have limited cash flow, and so grants have been in high demand across multiple sectors. So I recognize that for small businesses to survive this, grants are needed as well. So as well as targeted relief to ensure that our small businesses who really need it are able to survive this pandemic. So I would look forward to working with you collaboratively on this issue.
I was struck to see this morning in the Delaware Business Times that Delaware is so far coming in last in terms of the second round of PPP loans, in terms of the count and volume. And to my knowledge and my staff's knowledge, that's not due to any deficiency on the part of Delaware's lenders or businesses. I think it's important the SBA monitor the geographic distribution of funds. I hope you'll work with me on that. I think part of it may be because audits for first-round PPP loans are more cumbersome than may be necessary. There's been days of back and forth between auditors, lenders, and borrowers, even for loans as small as $10,000. How will you balance the important priorities of program integrity and efficiency in terms of speed?
Thank you for that. I do think that that's the challenge of that balance. I'm quite familiar with the programs, and if confirmed, I would look forward to figuring out how we can push as much as possible to make these simple for our small businesses to understand and leverage, because it is very difficult for them to go through mounds of papers to try to figure things out. So I know that we can better use our field, our resource partners, and get communications out there that help small businesses.
And as we spoke about, those resource partners can be absolutely critical, particularly to smaller businesses. For those that are women-owned, minority-owned, accessible advice and counseling is vital, particularly to navigate a crisis like this and to understand SBA's programs. Shawnee Inn in Greenwood, Delaware is an example. It's operated by Diane Evie. Diane asked Cindy Small at Delaware's SBDC for help early in the pandemic, and Cindy helped her get not just a PPP loan, but FEMA approval for to house federal employees, which then helped her get through. I'd be interested in how you see SCORE and SBDCs and other resource partners working to make sure that our small businesses can access the great programs SBA provides.
Yes, as a small business owner, I used SCORE myself. Learned all about patents from one of their advisors. So I know that there's some great resources out there in the community. In California, we actually match and leverage the federal resource partners, and they have been critical on the ground in informing small businesses. So I would look forward to being a good steward of those programs and making sure they're reaching communities.
Well, as you know, SCORE was founded in Delaware, and I look forward to working with you to strengthen it. My last question, we discussed the urgent need to support new entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs of color, women entrepreneurs, those living in distressed communities. And you mentioned the lack of runway capital is a major barrier. Please explain that problem and the consequences of leaving it unaddressed. I'm hopeful that the Next Generation Entrepreneurship Act, which Senator Scott and I co-authored, could be a part of the solution to this challenge.
Well, as President Biden has said, our talent and our spirit of entrepreneurship, as well as our ideas, come from all parts of the country. And unfortunately, there are many communities that face barriers to capital or have experienced historic racism or barriers that have prevented them from building the wealth that's needed for accessing capital or relying on friends and family. And so these entrepreneurs and their great ideas need to be supported as well for our economy to grow and for job creation to happen. And so I think it's really critical that we look at all of our programs from that lens of equity and make sure that we're reaching our underserved populations.
Mrs. Guzman, I look forward to supporting your confirmation and to working closely with you. This has been one of the most functional, productive committees I serve on in the Senate, and I'm hopeful we'll get a great deal done together during this period when our small businesses need you and the SBA so much. I'm so grateful to our incoming committee chairman for his leadership as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Coons.
Thank you, Chairman Cardin and Senator Rubio, and I'd like to thank the committee staff, Meredith and Sean, for working so hard.
So that is Isabella Guzman, and you can see that was part of her confirmation hearing. So some of the themes that I heard in there was that they spoke about was the need for more grant funding rather than loans, right? Because we know that loans create, that's added debt, and they're trying to provide more programs where you're not getting into debt because we're already behind the 8 ball due to the pandemic. You heard them talk about making things more equitable, making sure that this time around we have funding that is targeted. That means that they're getting money to the small businesses that were left out of earlier funding opportunities. So they want to make sure that it's equitable across the board. So again, these are your leaders, and I want you to know that we as small business owners, we use our power, we use our voice, we write in, we call in, we tweet to our congressional representatives and other local representatives, and you can see that he was speaking on behalf of his constituents. So and his constituents are small business owners. So we have, again, a lot of members in Congress and those in other industries that are really advocating on our behalf and are working to hold leaders such as Ms. Guzman accountable. But I really believe that, just based on her initial actions and swift movement, that she is really going to help us get moving with some of these programs. And my understanding is that she stated that her number one priority is getting money, getting relief to the small business community. This $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan has billions of dollars in it for small business, for which most of the programs she is under her umbrella, is under her watch to make sure that she coordinates, logistically, gets all her resources and systems in place to get these programs rolled out relatively quickly. Okay, so I talked about the EIDL program. That's the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. We also have the targeted EIDL grant program that I told you is up to $15,000. I said that they have already started sending out the second wave of email notifications. They started with those who had already received a partial grant, right? Because again, under the last administration, they capped all the money. So you could only get $1,000 per employee, where the law said, the CARES Act law said, we were entitled, no matter how many employees you had, to $10,000. And so we have been fighting for that. So we see that it has come full circle, and we are in the position where we can get our full $10,000. Now, there is certain criteria that has to be met, obviously, in this round. Again, keep pressing, keep pushing, keep fighting for everybody that applied, that checked that box that said that they wanted the targeted advance when it was available. So no matter what community that you're in, you should be able to get it. But right now, under the targeted EIDL program, it is available to those who applied on or before December 27th of 2020. You have to have 300 employees or less, be able to demonstrate that you had a economic loss of 30% or more in gross receipts over an 8-week period in 2020 compared to 2019, that same period in 2019. Okay, and be in a low income community. And now the second wave includes those people like myself who didn't get any money. So I applied the first day that the program launched, and I've been waiting a year at this point. And it's still on my grant tracker, and I've been looking at it, praying about it, calling about it, and now it is here. So those notifications will be coming to you from the SBA. This is nothing that is as public. So if you meet that criteria, you applied on or before December 27th of 2020, the SBA is emailing you. So you just need to monitor your inbox and your spam folder and promotional folders, because I don't know what types of emails you have. It hit my inbox. For some others, it hit their spam, and for others, it hit their promotional folder. So it's important that you check all of your folders in your email so that you don't miss it. Because when they send you the email, it is a time ticker. That means after 30 days, it will expire and you will not have an opportunity to apply. So you definitely want to make sure you beat the deadline, act quickly when you do receive the email notification, and that you go through all the information thoroughly, and make sure you're providing the correct information, exactly what they're asking for. You double, triple check before you hit that submit button, because there's not an opportunity to request a reconsideration like it is for the EIDL loan program. That is so important. You can shoot your shot. You got one time to do it. You will be able to update your information, like your address, your banking information. All of that is in there. I have step-by-step videos, explainer videos on the process. So do check those out. We have an EIDL playlist. It's in that playlist on our YouTube channel. So do check that out. Those who are approved and funded for the grant, you also have an opportunity to get a $5,000 supplemental grant. Now, this will be reserved for those that have 10 employees or less and fall into two categories. The first that will be in line to get this grant will be those that are identified as severely impacted, meaning that you had a loss in an 8-week period of 50% or above, and then substantially impacted or substantial loss would be those with 30% to 50% of a decrease that is shown. So again, I go through that because you will need to, they have like a chart of every month in 2019, every month in 2020, every in 2021. And so you will need to account for what you made, which in gross sales for every single month that is on that chart from January to 2021. So if you made zero, you're gonna put zero. If you made $100, you put $100. If you made $20,000, you put $20,000. Whatever you grossed in sales is what you're gonna put for every single month. So if you want to, and you probably should create a spreadsheet, do it there first. So I already know there's a lot of people that are not organized because you reach out to me every single day. I would recommend you pull your receipts together. You should be using your platform's tools. If you're using fintech companies like PayPal and Square, they have reports. It should not be that difficult for you to be able, if somebody asks you, how much did you make in quarter one? How much did you make in quarter two? How much did you make in 2019? It should be easy for you to pull these numbers. Okay. So if I go to my PayPal account, I can generate a sales report. If I go to my Square account, I can generate a sales report. If I go to my Stripe account, I can generate a sales report. So even if I wasn't using an accounting system, it's still relatively easy for me to pull information if you're properly reporting it. So some people are challenged in that regard. You need to be reporting all tracking and reporting every single sale, every single expense that you pay out of your business. If you do that, you should be just fine. And if you did well, you didn't have a 30% decrease. Don't worry about it, right? That's a great position to be in because there's millions of business owners that can't say the same. So if you did good in 2019 and did good in 2020, congratulations. Okay. Then that frees up dollars for other people. But in the meantime, we're still fighting for everybody to get theirs. So no matter if what your percentage of loss, or if you didn't have that significant of a loss and you apply for the program, which you're only supposed to apply for if you had an economic loss anyway, then we are still fighting for everybody to get their $10,000. But that is a program right now that's it's already been rolled out. They started that in February. So many of you have already gotten your emails. Check it. Many of you may not have even checked your emails. You check it today and it's there. So let me know in the comments if you've gotten your email, if you've gotten approved for your EIDL grant, or if you received your deposit. And I get that question a lot too. Has anybody gotten their deposit, any money? Yes. Know that it's going to take, from the time you submit your application, it's going to take at least 21 days. That is the goal for the SBA to process your application, approve it, pay it, or deny it, and then come back to you with an email notification if they deny you as to why. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Now, even bigger news is that the Congress extended the Paycheck Protection Program, which is another very popular program that is administered by the SBA. For this program, they actually have partnering lenders that are approved lenders. There are so many of them, thousands of lenders that are approved to lend money under the Paycheck Protection Program. Over $660 billion has already been lent out. Thus far, $7 billion was added to the pot under the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. And they just extended the deadline because it was fast approaching. I was trying to get my application in before the March 31st deadline, but they have extended it. Congress passed it. Now it's going to the president's desk. So it's basically done. It's been extended to May 31st. So again, it tells you how important it is to act quickly. And there's still so many million, especially smaller businesses, micro businesses. If you're a gig worker, independent contractor, self-employed individual, this program is for you. I find that is the group that's having the biggest challenges really with these programs, not knowing that they're qualified, or maybe not managing their business in an organized manner, so they don't really know what documents to pull together. That's why it's important to tune into this channel, watch the explainer videos, get our winning grant application cheat sheet, get the Win Grants with Ease Masterclass bundle, because these are the tools that are going to set you up for success to get you money. And so we know that the Paycheck Protection Program is a forgivable loan program, which means that you can have up to 100% of the loan forgiven, which means once you request forgiveness, it's turned into a grant, which is free money that does not have to be paid back. Who's excited to get grant money that you don't have to pay back? Who's ready to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program? If you're getting ready to apply for first draw, let me know in the comments. If you're getting ready to apply for second draw, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I believe it was yesterday, got approved for first round PPP, but I forgot about my other business. So for those of you, if you have multiple business, you have legitimate businesses, separate everything, okay, then you can apply for PPP under all your businesses, right? It's not just limited to one. So I just forgot, and so I made a point because I didn't know if they was going to extend it. I was hoping, but I don't wait till they decide. I want to get it in, so I did that, and then I applied under my second business. But look at this. This means that I have time to apply for the second draw. Now, what they say is that you need to wait 8 weeks. However, I've heard of people that did not wait 8 weeks and they were able to get approved. So you can put in your application and see what hits, okay? So we know we're tight on 8 weeks. So if you've been approved, got funded, used your money, the funds, then put in another application and see what happens. They may say we're going to hold it until X date. What you want to make sure is that they have it. They have your information. That's going to be important. But my process went fairly smoothly. I said yesterday that they're, near the same day that they approved me, they had actually sent me an email saying that they needed more information. And I was like, I've sent this information, and I've been through that too. That's why it takes patience, okay? Because with all of these programs, I've been in situations where they said I needed to submit information. I have already submitted 2, 3, and 4 times, okay? And then I have to let them know, why are you requesting the same information I've already given you? And then I go read again to make sure that I'm not missing something, right? So they said I was missing something, but obviously I wasn't, because they changed it around, sent me an email real quick and said it was processing. Next thing I know, they sent me the loan paperwork to sign through DocuSign. Okay. Thank you so much, Brian, for your super sticker, super chat. Thank you so much. So that's what it is. So I was excited to get approved for that. Put my application in for my second business today. We'll wait to get the funding. I'm waiting to hit the deposit. I will probably wait a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks at the latest, and put in another application for the second draw and see what happens. I mean, that's all you can do, is see what happens, okay, with it. You have no control over how long it takes them. Apply with multiple lenders. I tell people that all the time, because some people are not aware. And somebody said they've been waiting like since January. Okay, it should not take that long to process a PPP application. It took 12 days. And so I'm tracking to see how long it takes to hit my the bank account, and then I will let you all know how long that took as well. But it should not take months and months to get a response, or to be told whether or not you're approved or denied for the Paycheck Protection Program. Apply. Go to if you're going for second draw, go back to the same lender that did your first draws, to make it easier, unless you had a problem. But even with that, apply with a second lender, because you just don't know how long they may take. Whoever approves you first, there you go. Sign the paperwork and get your money. Okay. So you can apply with multiple lenders. I encourage you all to do that. You can only be funded by one lender under the Paycheck Protection Program. So if you have PPP questions, please let me know in the comments, because people come to me saying they have questions, they need help, but they don't tell me you have to be specific. What specific help do you need? You have to be able to explain that. And like they said in the confirmation hearing, there are organizations that do offer free assistance, your small business development centers, SCORE, which I'm a mentor with and a subject matter expert. They're gearing up teams. They have funding specifically for outreach to be able to provide webinars and training and to get the information out there to all of those who a lot of times miss out on the information, those that are in underserved communities, those in rural communities, minorities, women. So they want to make sure that the funding that's out there, that it actually gets to the businesses that need it, okay? So that is the Paycheck Protection Program. And you heard them also mention the Restaurant Revitalization Grant. Now, that is up to $10 million per business. It includes a lot of different businesses that serve food and drink, where people patronize you. They come, they spend money on food and drink. If that's your business, let me know. If you know someone who it is, please tag them in this video, share the video with them, because again, it's $10 million. But with this program, like the next one I'm going to be talking about is different. Is more requirements, okay? $10 million is more requirements, and you have to be set up. Your business has to be legal, structured, registered, has all of the information, and registered in the tool called, the system called SAM. This is the Federal Award System. And you will need a DUNS number from Duns and Bradstreet. It takes a couple weeks. So we know that the SBA is going to roll out the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant first, but right after that, they're supposed to roll out the Restaurant Revitalization Grant program. Okay, so that is coming. I've done a video on it. Go check out that video. As we get closer, as they roll out additional guidance, I will do explainer videos as they roll those out. But you want to be ready, because it's billions of dollars, but there's going to be millions of businesses applying, because millions of businesses, especially in the restaurant industry, were impacted. And we're gearing up, getting businesses ready to apply. So we anticipate that money will go quickly. And again, there's no guarantee that they will add additional funds to the program. We want them to, but you can't hope that they will add more money. You have to know what the requirements are, what the program is open right now, and go and shoot your shot, right? So that is the Restaurant Revitalization Grant. If you have a restaurant, bar, coffee shop, cafe, food truck, food stand, if you have a bakery, if you have, if you're a caterer, this is for you, up to $10 million, okay? Go check out the video on our YouTube channel on the Restaurant Revitalization Grant for more information. The next one, again, another one, this is a newer one as well, administered by the SBA, is the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. More funding. This one was actually is a new program that was funded under the bill that passed in December of 2020. So they are rolling it out. They had to set up new systems for this one. Interesting. Oh yeah, and they're setting up the new system. You do need to be registered in SAM and have your DUNS number. Okay, so prepare to get those ready. If you have a live venue, you have live performances, paid live performances, museums, theaters, cultural arts. If you represent talent, artists, comedians that perform at live venues, you can apply for this. But I'm telling you right now, there is a lot of requirements. They do have a checklist, which I explained in the video. I have like 4 or 5 videos on the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. Go to the last one. That's where I talk about their updated guidance on the program, the updated checklist that they provided. I walk through that checklist, and it is lengthy, but it's helpful to know what you need to know. You don't want to go into it blindly. This is $10 million. You want to be ready when the application opens. And it has a checklist that says what you need. And it's a lot of stuff that you need. So just start checking. If you are organizing your business, you'll have them. If you don't know it, then you have time right now to get it. So go to the video, get the checklist, go to the SBA website at sba.gov, and you can find additional information there. Okay, so this is the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. Okay, up to $10 million. And this grant, I know for sure, has a supplemental grant as well. This one will be rolled out in phases. So you see, all of these programs are targeted, and they're rolled out in phases as far as when they launch the application process. They want to give first dibs to those that were hardest hit. So for the Shuttered venue operators grant, the first in line, the first 14 days are going to those that had a 90% or greater loss. That's a lot of loss. Restaurants lost a lot. Shout out to all you restaurant owners out there. Okay. Then the next 14 days will be available to those that had a 75% or greater loss. And then after that, 25% or greater loss. The grant calculation is based on 45% of your gross revenue. I know that I believe for both the Shuttered venue and the restaurant grant, you can get PPP, but you will have to offset your grant amount by your PPP. So what that means is you will reduce it by the amount that you received in PPP funding. So you can apply for PPP now. They changed the rules. Get PPP now while they're getting the programs ramped up. But you will have to reduce the amount of your grant by what you actually received in your PPP loan. So I hope that makes sense. Get ready for this program. Now, these are the programs that are administered by the SBA. That's not even all. So I said again earlier, they have the debt relief program. So non-COVID related loans, they have a lot. Like if you want, they have grants for if you need to buy a building, right? You want to buy some land or a property, equipment. They have all types of non-COVID related loans that people have. So they offer debt relief. They're offering forgiveness, like up to 9 months on their micro loans. So again, definitely check that out. These are the programs administered by the SBA. Now, there's a ton of other programs as well, like the tax credit, the employee retention tax credit, the self-employed tax credit, and some other tax credits as well. But those are not administered, by the SBA. But you can see the SBA has a lot of programs that now they have to administer. They're getting ramped up. They're getting ready for you all. So get ready for them. Get ready to apply when those applications do open. So I'm just going to go through here really quickly to see if there are any questions. Give me just a second. Somebody's calling me. Okay, so if you're applying, if you got the EIDL, again, if you received the EIDL invitation, let me know. If you got approved, let me know. If you got your deposit, everybody want to know who got a deposit. So I know I have peers that have received a deposit. Also, there is a portal. When you applied, if you got access to your portal, let me know. Some people are saying they don't know where their portal is. I received an email that said my portal was updated, and I just logged into my portal and was able to see my status on the loan, the status on the old EIDL, which is going to say decline, and the status on the new EIDL targeted that says in process. So that's where you should be able to see and track your status. Okay. Okay, so I have someone they're saying they're still waiting on the EIDL, their balance of the EIDL grants. Someone sent an application in February and have not heard anything for the remainder of the grant. Called them and they can't tell you anything. You just have to be patient. I mean, how long did it take us to get this? I mean, to get here? A year? A year. So 21 days is the goal. It actually is the law, but we already know that the SBA is behind. So really, if it hasn't been 21 days, I wouldn't have even called them. I'll just be patient. And if it's over the 21 days, then call them. So I have a viewer asking, I'm on PUA, can I apply for PPP? Yes, you can apply. The PUA is the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program that is available. It is not administered by the SBA. It is state administered. Every state is different. Every state receives funding for this program. You can apply for PPP. Again, I will state this. You cannot, once you're funded PPP, you must stop claiming your unemployment. until which time you need it again once the PPP funds have been exhausted that you receive. Because your PPP, when you're applying, whether you have employees or not, you're applying for your owner's compensation, right? So if you have 0 employees, you're considered employee 1, which basically means that it serves as your owner's compensation as the owner of your business. So if you're earning compensation, unemployment, that means you're getting paid, which means you need to suspend your unemployment. You can't double dip, or you could potentially be penalized. I mean, the rules are clear on that. Now, at which time you have 8 to 24 weeks to use the money. Like under the PPP, for those that have employees, you must spend 60%, at least 60% on payroll, right? In order to get 100% forgiveness. You could get partial forgiveness. If you don't get any forgiveness, it's still great loan terms, but really there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get forgiveness of your loan. But if you, like a gig worker, independent contractor, those you don't even apply. That doesn't even apply. You can use it all on your owner's compensation. And then the best thing is when you receive it, then you take your owner's draw. Okay. Those that are not on payroll, those owners that are not on payroll, then you label it, you classify it, so you know what that money went towards, because you need to keep good documentation on all these programs that you're getting. Any program that you're applying for that you get funded, you really need to keep your documentation. At any point in time, they can come back and request that you submit verification on these various items. One thing to note on the Shuttered venue and the grant and the restaurant grant programs, especially I believe the restaurant grant program, I believe both of them. If you do not use all of the money, these are the programs up to 10 million, you have to give it back. You have to get whatever you don't use back. Okay. All right. So be clear on the rules. Make sure you're reading through all of the terms and conditions, the requirements. Get the help you need to make sure you understand everything. That's going to be really important. And like she said, we know it's been a challenge. It's not always easy to understand, but what they're trying to do is make it as easy as possible. And really, we all know there has never been a time that it's been as easy. I mean, as challenging as it is, it's really easy to get access to free money and loans. Normally, you go for a loan, it's not this easy. I mean, they want everything. Like, right, you can just get a loan based on self-certifying, right, that your information is true. And when you self-certify, it becomes a legal document, and you will be held to account for any misrepresentation, lies, fraud in relation to these programs. If you don't believe it, just Google. You will see all these people that either lied, stole identities, decided they were going to spend money on Lamborghinis and purses and trips. Okay, not only did they have to pay all that money back, then they got hit with fines, and they got arrested, charged, and some are in prison. So let's avoid that. Okay, I have to say that because you would think this stuff is common sense, but for some people it is not. This is not money you spend on for personal use. This is money you spend on your business. And all these programs outline what you can spend this money on. Okay. And this is for people that were impacted by COVID-19, their businesses. Right? Let's just remember that this is not, and they even say it's not for this money is not for expansion. So if you're you did great and you want to expand your business, these are not the programs for that. Okay, this is to get back your business back to where it was pre-COVID, because so many have been devastated. 400,000 businesses went out of business. Close their doors, out of business, dissolve the business. Okay? So some people don't understand that. I mean, this is serious stuff. There are serious businesses that are in serious need right now. So again, clarification: you can apply for PPP if you are on PUA. Once you get funded, you have to suspend your unemployment until you need it. What is the criteria for idle increase? You may want to go back to the beginning. They will let you know. There's nothing you have to do. The SBA will reach out to you if you're talking about your idle loan increases. So if you already had an idle loan, they will reach out to you via email. So again, it's on you to check your emails. Okay, so expect that if you have a loan, they will reach out to you. If you're in process, there's really nothing you have to do. They already know to increase it from what it was. Okay, so they're no longer it's no longer capped at 150,000. It's 500,000. It's not capped at 6 months of working capital. It's now 24 months, and they need to do the same thing with the PPP, because PPP you can only your loan amount is based on your monthly average payroll times 2.5 months. And if you're in the restaurant industry, food industry, with a code of 72, you can qualify for 3.5 months. But I mean, they need to bump that up to 6 months. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know it's a popular program, but we're a year into this already, so they should have bumped that up. I don't know why they didn't. Okay. But that's, again, you have to use your voice and request it. Let me just see if there's. Someone is just joining in. They applied and haven't received anything. She was denied the first time, closed the salon front down, and need help to reopen. Need funds to reopen. There are grants out there as well. So let me just say that, like I said, I just talked about these several programs by the SBA. There are so many more programs. All this money that's coming down to the states that's already at the state level. I mean, they already have money, so they're getting more money. They're passing their own legislative bills to add money to the pots at their state. If you're not looking in your state, I don't know what to tell you. The bulk of the money is right in your state under your nose, and you don't even know about it. And I see them every single day. It could be in your government, your state government, or organization, association, like some of the ones that I mentioned here, your chambers of commerce. I mean, all types of organizations that they're even partnering to give grants, like they did here. Like all of these, like the cities and the different organizations, they partner, meaning they funded the grant. And they put money into the pot, and then it was administered by they assign an administrator, and then the county, it was a county program. But everybody, all these different agencies and organizations and foundations contributed to it. I mean, we have a organization here now. They're giving grants to all nonprofits. They do it every single month. And I have peers that have gotten a grant. The Cleveland Foundation, if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, the Cleveland Foundation, you have a nonprofit, and you're making an impact, anything related to COVID, they're just giving out money every week. Every week or every 2 weeks. They've been doing this since the beginning. They're going to continue to do it. Continue doing it through the end of 2021. So much for the super chat. I don't even know your name out there. Let me know what your name is, super chatter. A QTPIES STAR1. Thank you so much. So Trevor's saying I got 1099 from investing. Can he apply? Investing. I don't know if they consider that passive income. I'm not sure. I would have to double check and get back to you on that. If that's your only income, and I don't know how much it is, I don't know that they consider that a business. That's the thing. Okay, and they're clear about what is considered a business and what 1099s would be applicable. So I would just say, depending on which grant or program you're inquiring about, go to the SBA website and look at their information on that. Again, it has to be a business. Someone is just waiting on their second email from the SBA. They called and said they were processing. Somebody said I'm breaking up. Sorry about that. Okay.